I do the gear there, I clink back the big lever with the lights, and then zip the handbrake. And then there's a lab, and there's a navigation system where he types in where he's going to go and stuff. So, yeah, the TARDIS just never gets boring, ever.
No. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello. Big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Of course. And my question is for Matt and Karen. My question for you guys is, what is your favorite alien race?
Cass.
Favorite alien race? I really like the Sisters of Plenitude. You know, the cats. The nurse cats. I think they're actually quite nice.
Yeah. I'm into the Sisters of Plenitude, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the Angels are my favourite, the Weeping Angels. Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
In the same vein, can I ask, just to go down the line, if you take Matt out of the equation, who your favorite doctors have been?
Wow, that's a pretty tough question. Well, I think beside Matt, Tom Baker for me, because he was my first doctor.
I really struggled to take Matt out of the line, but I would second.
I'm just trying to be fair, right?
Tom Baker, yeah.
I'd say, genuinely would say Matt, and then after that, I guess either Tom Baker or David Tennant.
And I like Chris Eccleston.
I like Troughton and Baker. I mean, it's so hard, isn't it? Because, you know, what's so wonderful about this show is that everyone has their doctor. And so hopefully in like 20 years' time, there'll be 5-year-olds going, and they'll be 25 going, yeah, Matt Smith was my doctor, and Amy Pond
That's nice.
was a companion and stuff. And oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet. That's the beauty of the show, I think.
No love for Sylvester McCoy, but okay. I like Sylvester McCoy.
First of all, thank you all for the last 2 years. It has been amazing storytelling. My question is, given that you're coming up on the 50th anniversary, and particularly, I mean, you're at the home of genre and the Tribe of Geek, do you ever consider the fact that you are contributing to modern myth-making?
Piers, Beth?
No, we don't, because if we did, we'd be a bunch of arses, really, wouldn't we? But we do take Doctor Who incredibly seriously, and it is all of our lives, and we just want to make it brilliant because of the love, our own love of it, but also the love of all of you lot, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to when it's appreciated this much? So thank you very much for getting us to work every day.
I would say that writing good television is incredibly exhausting and hard and time-consuming and disappointing, but it's something that we love, and I think that's a bit for we genuinely love this show, and so it's and our passion and love and enthusiasm for the show. It's very difficult because sometimes you feel as if you're slightly in a vacuum. And so coming to events like this and realising that the audience feel just as enthusiastic and passionate about it as we do is wonderful. And it's wonderful to kind of get all of that energy that we put out, to suddenly get that back is fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's why we come to events like this, because it's just lovely to get, to feel that enthusiasm, and it just reminds us as why we're doing it.
Thank you.
Hey!
Wow.
This question is for anyone that can answer it out there. I was wondering if the Doctor can or will regenerate into a woman.
That's awesome.
I'm going to throw that to the boss. So, boss?
We don't know who the boss is. We're making decisions.
Suddenly everyone runs from responsibility.
I think that's possible, but I think it's always led by the actor or actress that is right at the time. And I think every time the Doctor regenerates, of course, having a woman will always cross whoever's making the show their minds, but
Could
it's
be
got to
you.
be based on
Never
the
know.
right actor.
I also think that, you know, a lot of what River does, I mean, could there ever be a female time traveller to match her in terms of kind of kick-ass, you know, alien fighting brilliance? And a little bit of me thinks that maybe she's stolen the thunder of a female Doctor.
Perhaps, yeah.
It's good thunder.
Good thunder.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I love all of you. You're amazing. My question is for Matt. I've seen you at a couple of panels this weekend, and I was wondering, after watching you being interviewed, I was wondering how much of yourself you put in the character of the Doctor, and how much of the Doctor maybe kind of rubs off on you.
Good question. Well, God,
I think we should answer that, actually. I think we're much better placed to answer that one. I mean, Matt is the Doctor. What you see on screen is pretty bloody close to how he is on real life, apart from he's maybe a bit less competent in real life, even clumsier. But
I'm not as cool as the Doctor. I'm nowhere near.
Stephen, one of Stephen's favourite things to say, kind of after his kind of fourth glass of wine of the night, is he just is the Doctor. He just is.
Yeah.
The way that Stephen has, the way the character has evolved over the last 2 series, you know, Stephen writes for Matt. Stephen visualises Matt and can imagine Matt saying it, and he knows what Matt will make funny. So the two kind of come together very organically.
Yeah. It's just, I wish I was as cool as him. He's, you know...
Never gonna happen, man.
Never gonna happen. It's just kind of, it's like Amy Pond's way cooler than Karen. And that's... It's true. It's true.
No, it's definitely true.
And it's what's wonderful is kind of getting to spend time, you know, because as an actor, that's what you do. You spend time with the character in quite a sort of interesting way, and to do it with a man like him, he's such a benchmark for everything, for how to live your life. He's such a maverick, and he always makes choices independently for himself. And
I think, you know, Matt's a modest guy, but he's the first Doctor to be nominated for a BAFTA for the role, which I think just goes to kind of testimony to what a brilliant job he did of coming in and redefining the role, which had been so brilliantly defined by his predecessor. And you know, it was such a huge burden for him and for all of us, you know, when he came into the role in the 11th hour. But I'll never forget the night after that episode, the morning after that episode had transmitted and reading in the papers how well received he'd been, and just feeling so proud of him. He is a brilliant, brilliant guy, and we're all so lucky to work with him.
Can you talk a little bit about what the selection and audition process was like? What was it like? Now you evolved into it, and Stephen's work has evolved writing for you with the other writers as well. But how did you, when you first got there, what was it like?
well, it's kind of everything's top secret, so you get the script 2 days before. Well, no, a day before actually. So you only get a day to sort of look at it and learn it, and you go in and you do your thing. And weirdly, when David was leaving, my mum texted me saying, "You should be the next Doctor," and I was like, "Well, all right, Mum."
My mom sent me that text too.
And then you go in and you do your thing, and you kind of think nothing of it, and then there's another one, and you go back and there's a couple more people there. And then I'll never forget when I got a call and you know, they said they'd like to offer you the part, and I was in Aldgate. I'd just come out of an audition, and I was on a cobbled street, and it's a real game changer. It's a real life-changing thing to sort of take on, because it's Doctor Who, you know, yeah, it was remarkable.
It was the easiest casting decision that any of us had ever been involved in, because it was just so bloody obvious from the moment that he walked into the room. It wasn't, you know, quite often when you're casting a big, important part, it can become very heated, and everyone can have their own agendas and their own kind of opinions, and you know, some people are like one actor, some people are like another, but it was just really simple. It was, so I remember Saturday afternoon, I think the day after we'd met Matt for the second time, and Stephen just sent me an email that just said, "It's him, let's face it, it's always been him."